This is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Shawn Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Shawn David.
Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Shawn David. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at some NBA legends that for whatever reason had a pretty unfortunate career ending. Sometimes it was their own fault, sometimes it wasn't. We as fans just wish that their career end was different. But before we start with this episode, let me ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. All right, you guys, let's go for it. So the first player I want to start with is Shawn the Rainman Kemp. If you are a fan of the 1990s, then of course you know that Shawn Kemp was probably one of the most exciting players we have ever seen. I mean, the incredible dunks, the alley-oops, the sensational shot blocking ability, that guy was just amazing to watch. He and Gary Payton were the face of the 1990 Seattle Supersonics. In the 1996 season, the Seattle Supersonics challenged the 72-10 Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals, and Shawn Kemp really put up a good fight. That was also the best season that he had in his entire career. He averaged 19.6 points, 11.4 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game. After that, he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he also had 3 great seasons, and he was one of the best power forwards in the Eastern Conference. But after that, I think you can really pinpoint his downfall, because once the NBA was in the lockout, everything went downhill. Shawn Kemp didn't practice anymore, he ate way too much, his off-the-court demons took over, and that guy came back so badly in shape that literally no team was taking him serious. He played for the Portland Trail Blazers and the Orlando Magic, and at the age of 33, no team was willing to sign Shawn Kemp.
Hey, listen, I'm going to come out of retirement if NBA team signs Shawn Kemp. They ain't got no chance. I like Shawn Kemp. He's a nice kid, but come on, man. Listen, let me just tell you something. And like I say, I'm going to clarify, I really like Shawn Kemp. But if you're bringing Shawn
so much you're crying, you're laughing so hard.
No, but listen, if you're bringing in Shawn Kemp, your team must really suck. No, seriously, if you're a general manager, seriously, am I right? If you're a general manager and you say, I can bring, Shawn Kemp can make us better, you...
Next, we got AI Allen Iverson. Hardly any player had such a huge impact in the NBA like Allen Iverson. To many people, he's the pound-for-pound best player in NBA history. And when Allen Iverson arrived, his game, his style inspired an entire generation. He took the bad 76ers to the NBA Finals and is simply put a true NBA legend. But of course, Allen's career also had its ups and downs and his controversies. The legendary press conference, his fights with his coaches, and so on. At one point, it got so bad that literally no team was willing to sign Allen Iverson, which is why the later part of his career really didn't look too good. In 2009, his short stint with the Memphis Grizzlies only lasted 3 games because he refused to come off the bench, and then he just played 25 games for the 76ers where he returned. Before, as I mentioned earlier, no team was willing to sign him. And for such an incredible basketball talent, it's just so sad that his career ended that way.
Allen Iverson made more than $154 million in his career. A jewelry store just got a court's permission to garnish his bank account for $400,000 in unpaid bills for jewelry. What do you know of Allen Iverson's life these days?
You hear a lot of things, and, you know, Allen Iverson and I have a history. Obviously, some of it not very, very good. I love the guy personally. I'd like to see him back in the NBA. I hope that teams would ultimately give him a chance because I know he's starving to get back in the NBA. No doubt. And one of the things that he's struggling with right now is a lot of teams not looking at him.
Next on the list, I got Dominique the Human Highlight Film Wilkins. Not only one of the most underrated players in NBA history, but also one of the best scorers the game had ever seen. That guy was simply amazing. When he came back from his Achilles injury, that guy was putting up 30 points a game at the young age of 34, which is incredible. So in his mid-30s, Dominique played in Europe for 2 years and joined the San Antonio Spurs when David Robinson was injured in the mid-90s and was the best scorer on the team at the young age of 37. 1997. So it was unfortunate that when he joined the Orlando Magic, thinking that he would still be a vital part of the team, that he was not receiving any minutes and was only supposed to provide the veteran role, even though that guy was still productive.
For me, it was in Orlando as well. Following up, this made me want to choke him. I wouldn't want to quit. But it was in Orlando at the end of my career, as I was leading the league in points per minute as starter, even playing 18 points a game as a starter. I remember Chuck Daly, bless his soul, I love Chuck Daly. And he came to me and said, Nick, we think we're going to start Matt Harford because we need more scoring. I was like, huh? I said, Chuck, I'm leading the league in points per minute, and you need more scoring. I said, Chuck, I've been in the league a long time. And so I'm a big man. I'm a big boy. So you can tell me if you want to start this kid, it's okay. I have no problem, but don't insult my intelligence. It was that moment I said, you know what? It's time to quit. It
was in Orlando for me too.
It was at that point the game started to change a little bit. It was more about pacifying, taking care of these young kids more than winning. And I didn't want any part of that.
I honestly gotta say, I really felt bad for Dominique Wilkins. I always used to be a fan of the older guys. If they could still perform on a high level when they were in their late 30s, I was always rooting for them. And when Dominique was sitting on the bench, even though he was still good, it really broke my heart. Next, I got Dennis "The Worm" Rodman. As we all know, Dennis Rodman had not your everyday career. I mean, that guy was a second-round pick playing for the Bad Boy Pistons, becoming one of the best defenders, one of the best rebounds in NBA history, becoming a two-time All-Star, becoming a pop phenomenon in the mid-90s with the Chicago Bulls. So, of course, you expect that that guy has a great career ending. But after the Chicago Bulls run, in 1998-1999, he became a part of the Los Angeles Lakers, but only for 23 games before being released. And it got worse. In the 1999 season, he joined the Dallas Mavericks alongside Michael Finley and Dirk Nowitzki, where he only played 12 games before being released again. The crazy part was that guy was still averaging 14 rebounds a game at the age of 38. But at the end, it looked like Mark Cuban just wanted to fill up the seats in the arena and wasn't really interested in having Dennis Rodman on the team. So that was the last time Dennis Rodman was seen in the NBA, which is very unfortunate.
That's what he's upset about. He's still talking about it. Rodman sits and he's gone. Rodman's gone. He sits down in the lane as if to say this is where the man was positioned. And Dennis Rodman has been tossed in his second game back. And second game with the Mavericks. It didn't take long, did it? No, you knew it wouldn't.
Next, I got Karl Malone, aka the Mailman. If you appreciate good and smart basketball, then you have to appreciate Karl Malone, one of the best players in NBA history and a true face of the Utah Jazz franchise. So when he joined the Los Angeles Lakers in 2003, I didn't mind, even though he was joining Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Gary Payton. And to me, as a fan, it looked like a sure championship team. I still didn't mind because I wanted him to win his championship. But everything went totally wrong. Even though the team had so many superstars, there was no team chemistry. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant didn't get along, so basically Karl Malone was the heart and soul of the team, and he was actually carrying the team even though he was now 40 years old. And even though the team didn't have the chemistry, the talent was still good enough to make it to the finals. But when Karl Malone went down with an injury, everything broke down. The Los Angeles Lakers got defeated by the underdog Detroit Pistons. So when the season was over, Karl Malone had to make a decision. But his experience in his last season was so bad that he actually didn't want to come back.
Passing standing like that. Phoenix showing some zone. Knocked to the floor. He and Scott. Oh, Karl Malone immediately holding his right knee.
And when the mailman holds any type of an injury, you know he's hurt, because you talk about one tough customer, Karl Malone.
Last on my list, Latrell Sprewell, one of the most explosive guys I've ever seen in my entire life. That guy was so much fun to watch. If you love Russell Westbrook, that guy was Russell Westbrook of the 1990s. He had the potential to be such a great and sensational player, but he literally just messed so many things up that it's just incredibly sad how everything turned out. At the end of his career, at the age of 32, he had the chance to sign a decent contract with the Minnesota Timberwolves, which he refused, saying that he has to feed his family. So apparently, tons of millions is not enough. And that was the end of Latrell's NBA career. All right, you guys, as you can see, there were so many great legends, players that we really appreciated, especially back in the days. And some of those players are actually some of my favorite players of all time. So to me, it was always very, very heartbreaking to see how their career ended. But hey, what can you do? Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.